we had a conversation about our birthdays and decided that from now on, instead of giving gifts for our birthdays, which we didn't want to, I mean, it's always a ridiculous, ludicrous experience buying gifts, that we would, go on holidays where we travel somewhere, but somewhere special each year if we can possibly do it. Because it was her 30th birthday, I said that we should do something, you choose what you want to do, and we'll try to do it. She chose, based on the book Into Thin Air that she read, she took it out from the library, she wanted to do the Everest Base Camp. And
I just want a question I want to ask you here. Did they all fucking die in that book? No, so this chick reads Into Thin Air, which is about all these fucking people dying, and she goes, oh, I know where I want to go. Right. Let's go to that part of the world. We're in that book where they all died. Maybe we'll go there. That sounds like a nice place for a holiday.
This story gets interesting because I'm proud. We supplant those heroines because I almost died in this story. I swear to God. She wants to go to Everest Base Camp, and I said to her, well, how about, she says, well, in particular, I want to go to the Gorge Shack and do Everest Base Camp, and then do this trip through the pass through Goikyat, which is another view of Everest, which is an 18 to 20-some day trek. And I told her, honestly, my love, there's no way you can trek for that long. With all due respect, lately, I should say in all due respect, she has come pretty far in the last few years. She started camping. She used to camp that much before. She likes the outdoors. She started trekking. But I said, this isn't like just a normal little day trek in BC or I was impressed that we hiked our backpacks up a mountain to see up the Joffre Lakes this year, to camp up near the top of the mountain near the glacier in BC. I said, this is going to be a full-on trek, however. And she agreed that we should do the shorter trek, just straight to base camp and back. So we found an itinerary that would allow us to perhaps do it in 12 days, after including taking off from Kathmandu up to Luku, the starting point. So anyway, making a long story short, I mean, we'll definitely talk more about all the different facets of the trip. It was a difficult trip. It was the thesis of the trip, the plot of the trip, the enemy, your antagonist, is something called acute mountain sickness and basically altitude sickness. I can't talk about it. What's so funny?
God. I know you're not supposed to laugh, but it's kind of twisted funny because of the way you're telling it. You're going to say, your folks wanted you to be a lawyer. I don't fucking wonder the way you talk sometimes. Well, of course, I would say that Britain's most bit of hampering parts of the whole thing was having oxygen starvation. But oxygen starvation can put you in such a state. So I've dealt with a lot of the oxygen.
Well, I guess
I laid down a lot.
There wasn't a lot of comedy around the story of oxygen starvation.
No, it doesn't.
So it does affect the way one tells the story. It makes it a little more serious, you know.
Yeah.
I looked for comedy every day while my brain was starving.
It's a great name for a rock band. You know? Oxygen starvation.
Trust me.
It's a great name for a band.
As we ascended up the fucking mountains, I looked for a reason to add a little bit of juncture of comedic relief. In an otherwise serious environment where we're physically exhausted, we have less oxygen to breathe, we're getting headaches, we're fucking eating no meat in a long time, we're having dull bat rice every night, in other words lentils and rice for dinner, we're sleeping in -10, -15 temperatures every night, and quite frankly we haven't slept in myself for 4.5 nights. Yeah, the comedic element was taken out of the story. It rather became rather serious. It does become a little more because of the lack of the comedic routine.
Yes.
There was no way along the trail I could turn to her and say, "Isn't this fucking hilarious?" She would not be impressed. There was nothing funny about it whatsoever. I found this splendid little bird, by the way, up to Gorikshek. Gorikshek is your last stop before base camp.
Yeah.
There's just this little bird sitting there on this rock.
Would you kill it?
No. This is at, like,
I would have. I'd have killed it. You should have killed it.
This is at like 5,200 meters above the sea level.
Oh,
and this little bird just like chatting away just on this rock as I'm approaching.
Yeah.
I'm walking at the pace of like 1 foot after the other, toe to heel. That's how big my imprint is. I'm not making much progress.
Yeah.
And I'm dying up there, gasping for air, thinking this is kicking my ass. But I love it. I miss the oxygen. And this little bird's just chatting away on the rock. Just this little cutest little thing.
Oh, yeah.
My girlfriend just looks at she's walking by. Normally she'd be like, oh, there's a sweet little bird. So I stopped and I thought, I'm taking the backpack off and I drink a drink of water from my canister and I start talking with this bird. I'm going to start talking to him. So I'm just like, this bird kind of looks at me in the middle of like, talking. Looks at me and I was like, I'm just using cat. This is the way I used to call a cat. And the bird's like, it was like one of the most insane moments I had when for about the next 5 minutes I'm chatting to this bird. Thinking the whole time, I took a picture of it by the way. Thinking, I don't have much memory on my camera, but I want to film this. And I thought, and then I of course realized, I'm mad, I'm going mad, I'm dying up here. What do you expect?
God, I'm gotta put this down for a minute. Oh.